There's times where we all need some nurturing and guidance to help get us through tough times, but some of us hold on to underlying emotional experiences that may manifest in the body as tension or pain. That's where somatic therapy comes in. It's a holistic approach that focuses on the connection between the mind and the body in addressing trauma, stress and emotional baggage through movement, breath and touch. Somatic. It's a word I'm starting to hear a lot more now, but what does it actually mean?
Well, soma means the body, and so we live in a world where most of us just operate from the head up, so the brain. But yeah, there's a whole lot of work now tending towards acknowledgement that unless we release what's stored in the body, the head will just keep going and going and going. Okay, so this process is called the wood chopper, and you'll discover why when we work through it. So we, first of all, bring our hands together and we clap the hands like that. Beautiful. So we take a 3-part inhale, and as you do, the arms move up. So it would look like this. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. We pause, then we take another sip and the arms draw all the way up. Excellent. Maybe you give the hands a squeeze and you clench the bottom, and then everything comes out as you open the mouth and we fall down. That's it. And straight into the next one.
Okay. And do people normally yell?
Everybody yells. Okay.
So what would you describe then as a somatic experience?
Well, that's a very big question. So somatic experiencing was founded by Dr. Peter Levine, who is a very traditional psychiatrist. But Dr. Levine discovered probably 30, 40 years ago that whilst we can sit in the therapy room and talk and talk and talk and talk some more, unless we're actually releasing stress and trauma that's stored deep in the body, the soma, we really won't heal. So the influx of somatic work these days really stems from his work, in the 70s. We did an open mouth, try closed mouth, clap the hands, straighten the arms as much as you can. Beautiful. Can you now, we'll start to contract before we breathe in. That's it. Excellent. Okay. Yes, inhale. Inhale, pause, take another inhale and release, open the mouth and let it go. So what felt better?
I think I preferred the second one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So think about your nervous system. It's this intricate, very ancient system inside of you, and it governs everything. So it governs your breath, your heart rate, your digestion. And without going into human biology lesson, essentially your nervous system answers 3 questions. Am I safe? Am I loved? And what do I think? And so the first question, am I safe? It answers in under a quarter of a second. And that is why we're all walking around a little bit on edge. The answer to that question is no, a lot of the time, even when we are safe. And release, open mouth if you can, that's it. So when we do these somatic release processes, it can come out in various ways: screaming, crying, numbness. So sometimes it's actually nothing, because even just the notion of release work is too scary for a nervous system. This time I'd like you to stay down. And so we integrate the release. The nervous system is not designed to be calm and, just relaxed all the time. That's not the aim. It's to fluidly go between states. And so we teach how to have more influence over those states. And release down however you like. Can you soften the head to the bolster, unclench the hands, maybe draw the hips back to the ankles. And just notice what now starts to come up.
I could cry.
Could cry. Slowly. The thing about the soma body is that it sends you little messages all the time, but we often don't listen to them. And so usually what happens is that people come into these sorts of spaces when the body's started to scream at them. And by that I mean, something's breaking down. There's so much research into the effect of trauma in the body and its impact on chronic pain, inflammation, digestion, fibromyalgia, autoimmune. It all is linked back to how we store, release, process trauma and stress. So most of the people who walk into these spaces, it's almost gone too far, but this work is amazing in being able to repair and release. We're here for about 30 more seconds. Hands above the head now. That's it.
Although some somatic experiences are one-on-one, in your environment you actually do it in a group, which I find fascinating. Is there ever any reservation on people, you know, being vocal or emotional?
There is a lot, and so it's why the format in a one-on-one is so different to a group. I keep the group classes really surface level, and my intention or my hope in the group classes is really just to give people a couple of different techniques so that when they walk out of the room, they understand how to tap into their body and what's going on. I have some tears in the groups classes. I have some tears, I have some screaming, but we also have to be careful. Some people hate noise. Good in the body, you might like to...
It's becoming a lot more common these days to talk about therapy and how important it is for us to live our best lives. But there's so many different types of therapy out there, it's really hard to know where to begin. Now, I've definitely done plenty of talk therapy in my life and I've loved it. This somatic experience is a little bit different in that it was less about talking in this environment and more about making noises and moving. But what I can say is what I achieved in such a short amount of time with the somatic experience was really profound if I compare it to maybe talking for over an hour about some of my problems. So if you're a little bit curious about experiencing with different types of therapies, maybe this one could yield a result that you've never experienced before.